Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sports Card Madness. This is LZ. I am here with Nick. Today, we're covering Fanatics Fest. We have to cover Fanatics Fest. We're
Right.
going to be talking about just it in general, also the impacts on the national. We have a big Michael Jordan sale that we're going to be talking about. We also have some V Friends news. We have a really, really idiotic Pokemon buyer that we have to talk about, and much, much more. Nick, how you doing,
What's
man?
going on, man? What's going on? Having a good time. Right now, I am waiting for my stupid washer to get delivered.
You
So,
stupid washer.
yeah, we had
All right, well,
a
let's have this be part of the opening kickoff, Nick.
okay.
So you kick it off. Tell us about the stupid washing machine.
Well, I got a problem with Windows, okay? There was a whole Seinfeld episode about this. It's like the
What do you
cable
mean
guy tells
Windows?
you it's like 1 to 4, like so Best Buy's telling me it's like 7 to 7. I'm like, that doesn't help me at all.
7 to 7?
7 to 7. First of all, like it's summer. I don't want to wake up at 7 for anything. And then, and I
Yeah,
don't get
seriously. That messes with like your workout plans in the morning and your
everything.
breakfast and
Everything. Well, it
everything.
could mess with dinner apparently
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
So
apparently.
it could go to
Yeah.
6:59. So, and that's when it starts, right? So I don't know, could go to like 8. So, it's like the night before I finally get the window. It's crazy. So, yeah,
7 to 7. You are waiting around for 12 hours today, Nick.
yeah, and now it's 1 to 5. And
Sorry,
so
so they've now brought it in a little closer for you.
I don't know. I might get a call in the middle of this pod where they're like, we're showing up early or whatever. So it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating. I figure by like after like 40 years of appliance deliveries, like they just have a better method, you know? It's like
Seriously, even just with technology that they have today, they know where these drivers are. They should be able to tell you when you're going to be all right. So the driver's, he's at one drop off before you and he's a half an hour away. Come on. Like 7 to 7? What are we doing?
yeah, come on, Best Buy. Like even
Do better.
like I feel like Jordans, they're awesome, man. That's our local
Jordan's
furniture
furniture.
place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they're communicating days ahead of time. They got that
Mm-hmm.
thing down to like 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're solid, man. Um, they should look up to that. And this is Best Buy. It's like, come on, guys.
Seriously. Yeah.
So whatever, man.
Best
I'm
Buy
getting a new
does.
washer. The way we broke it, it's kind of
Yeah,
funny.
what happened?
Well, first of all, this is the last living appliance. This is a 10-year-old house. This is the
Okay.
last
Oh,
living appliance that we like moved into the house with is the
okay, so it
washer.
lasted 10 years.
Yes, actually, it's not that bad. That's probably pretty good. This thing's a
In
beast.
today's world, that's pretty good.
It's got a cracked, window that I have duct tape on.
Yes.
It's got like so finally my wife just burnt out the drum with like bed sheets, and
Oh
it
yeah, the
started
comforters.
we were out
Yeah.
by the pool and it started smoking.
What?
Yeah, it started smoke coming out of it. Cuz
Wow.
the drum got bent, the belt came off. It seized the motor, and so it's like a car seizing up. It's going to catch fire or
Wow.
there's a little bit of oil in there. It's so like, we had to open the windows and I was just like, I called the guy because I got an appliance guy. Before I even called him, I knew the answer.
Yeah.
It's just
Don't
like
even bother,
it's
Nick.
just 10 years old.
It's
He's
10
like,
years old.
this is actually, let's not talk for more than a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm gonna
What
charge you $250. So yeah, I mean, to Best Buy's credit,
what brand was this 10-year-old washer, Nick?
Samsung.
All right. It's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Everything else has been replaced along everything from the
Yeah.
dishwasher, everything else. This is the last thing.
Hmm.
Finally, it has gone. We replaced it with another Samsung. It's a little bit bigger, and my wife will be happy.
All right.
We've
No
been
duct
limping
tape.
through laundry for a
Yeah,
week.
Julie will be happy there's no duct tape on the window anymore. That would be big.
It worked.
That's big. Here we go. There we go. Sweet. All right. My opening kickoff is actually an interesting one. I'm going to play a little bit of Did You Know today. So I
Okay.
came across a story on socials about surprising things that are illegal in some places, Nick.
Okay.
So there is some interesting ones.
It's
All
gonna
right.
inspire me to break
The
some laws.
first one is that is illegal is not walking your dog in Italy. If
Yeah.
you neglect your dog and you don't walk it, it sounds like the popo's coming for you. So that's number one.
Jeez.
The other one, another one that stood out to me, and you actually might know about this because you've been there a couple times. Running out of gas on the highway in Germany.
Interesting.
You've been there a couple of times. Have
That
you heard saw any
highway
signs
is
or anything?
that Autobahn's nuts, man. It's you can be going 150, then there's a Ferrari going 250, and they just crush you.
Yeah.
So
Any
I bet they
signs
just
about
want.
running out of gas?
No, I've seen
No.
construction signs. I've
Okay.
seen like
All right.
I've never seen that. No,
Okay. All right. Next one. Riding a horse while drunk in Japan is apparently illegal.
that's interesting.
Okay. Uh, Wearing camouflage clothing in Barbados is illegal, Nick.
What the heck?
So don't be bringing your camo shorts to when you're vacationing in Barbados.
That's weird.
All right, and then the last one. This is great. This is great. Handling salmon in suspicious circumstances is illegal in the United Kingdom. What exactly is handling salmon in suspicious
What does that
circumstances
even
mean?
mean? Like whacking
I
somebody
don't
with it?
know. Maybe you're using it as a weapon. I don't know. I don't know, but I think just it.
Mishandling sushi? I don't know.
Oh man, I think you're just better off not touching salmon in the United Kingdom, and I think you'll be safe that way. So
No kidding. Unless it's fried and breaded or something. Yeah.
yeah, so I obviously had to save that one for last because that is very very interesting. So stay away from the salmon in the UK in London. Don't go near it, anybody.
Wild man.
All right. So let's get to the topics at hand for today. Uh, we got to talk about Fanatics Fest,
Of course.
right?
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks, but
It,
yeah.
it has been a couple weeks, but this is the first time we've caught up on it. Um, I actually had the chance to go. I only went for one day. I went on Sunday, so Sunday
Mhm.
was actually probably one of the slower days, which I think in a way it was kind of good for me to see it, with not the crowds that were in there. Nick, it was very, very impressive.
Yeah.
I like just impressive all around. All around. The venue, which I'm sure everybody saw, but the Javits Center is a beautiful venue. Um, they just did a really, really great job of making everybody comfortable there.
Hmm.
Like I took my daughter. She's not a sports fan. She doesn't collect cards, but
Right.
she loved it. She loved it. There was, a Netflix area, Happy Gilmore. There was like a Cheez It area and Ritz Cracker area. And like I think they did a really good job of covering everything, not to mention just all the sports and the athletes and the cards. And I thought they did a really good job of the the card table area. They did a good job of mixing it throughout the venue. But job well done. I mean, especially compared to some of the other venues that we've gone to for card shows, like this one just blows it away, Nick.
Yeah, it looked
Um,
crazy from afar. Me and my son had plans to go. We got
yeah,
wiped out. We got sick, so
yeah.
pissed off. But we managed to get some, we had some good stuff from the media team. So
Mm.
if anybody wants to look at, Fanatics Fest on the YouTube channel, we've got coverage for each day, just like the Make a Wish thing with Brady. That was pretty dope. But yeah, it looked amazing. I'll be there next year.
Yeah, they did a really good job of like spacing out the fest and having these like events within the space, right? So like there would be a famous UFC fighter in one area, and then across the room would be like Kevin Hart on stage, like getting into a cold tub, doing an interview. They're raising
Oh,
canes.
that's that Cold as Balls show, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty good.
I don't ever want to be on that show. I hate cold, man. I hate it.
You
People
would
cold plunge and stuff like that.
you wouldn't want to
No.
do a cold
I
plunge?
don't even like a cold shower, dude. I don't even like a lukewarm shower.
Oh,
I like a steamy hot sauna to stress my body out. That's cool. I'll
yeah.
never go on a cold plunge. Never, never, never. I don't even like
Don't
going to the
say
ocean.
never. Come on. Come
It
on. A
would, it
cold
would,
shower. So what I was doing for a while is I was wimping out a bit and I was taking my warm shower, but then the last minute of the shower, I would turn it as cold as possible and like suffer for the last minute. You should try that.
Not
Try
first you
that.
warmed up though.
Yeah, yeah,
Like that.
exactly. I warmed
I'm
myself
gonna
up
get
to
really
100,
toasty here.
yeah,
And I'm just
110 degrees and then
I don't
turned
know.
it.
That's kind of a cop out, man. I don't know.
But hey, well, more it's not as cop out compared to what you just said. Are you not going to do any of it?
That's
No
true.
way.
That's true. It's actually
No.
really good for your muscles to hot, cold like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, it was it was just very impressive. I actually told my daughter that next year, like the whole family's going to go. We are
Yeah, yeah,
definitely going to
yeah.
go next year. We're going to make a weekend out of it. I mean, it's a great city too, right? You just there's plenty to do at night.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah,
New
so
York, man. Yeah.
yeah.
See shows and eat good food.
So talk to me about so obviously, you mentioned that you couldn't go, so you were
Hmm.
kind of watching from afar, and I know you're kind of ratcheting back your Instagram too, so you might not have saw everything, but you probably did catch some things. And we did have, we worked with
Yeah, of
Fanatics and
course.
we had those YouTube videos as well. So what caught your eye from afar?
Yeah, real quick. So my Instagram's still up, Boston Card Hunter. So I'll still
Mm,
leave it there, but I'm not going to be active until we get closer to the national. But
yeah.
so Fanatics Fest, it's funny. Like there were like three or four moments that popped for me. The first one that was really cool was Roth Cards. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who that is. He had a one of one Jaden Daniels card that he sold to the Commander's owner, and it
Yeah.
was a $500,000 sale with no negotiation, all filmed from like all angles.
Mm,
And he co-owned the card with somebody, I forget his name, but it was kind of like a dope moment to like
mm.
get a card of that caliber. I mean, it's $500,000
Yeah.
changing hands.
Well, I mean, good for him too, because he did throw out a $2 million value at first. So he he did good for him.
My man. But he's
I would,
also a
yeah,
huge, to be fair to Roth, he's a huge Commanders fan,
yeah,
huge Jaden Daniels fan. And so he probably thinks it's worth $1 billion in
sure.
his head. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like we think,
Yep.
like Jason Tatum is
Well,
the
he
best
was
thing.
smart. He backed it up. He said like the Paul Skeens card went for 1.2 and this is a better card and yada yada. So I'm, 2 million.
But good on him. I
But
think it was a
yeah.
good moment for the hobby.
Yeah.
It was a moment where the hobby meets sports.
Mm,
Like it would be like
mm,
selling a Jordan rookie to the Bulls owner, or
yep.
something like that. It's really cool. So it kind of brought the two worlds together at this
Yep.
place that brings the two worlds together. So
Hmm.
that was one that stood out for me. Do you want to like go back and forth, or
No, no, no. I want to hear some of yours and then I'll fill in details with other ones because I want to hear from you
the most
first.
amazing thing I saw, and we put this on the YouTube channel because it's so important to me. I even did a short on it, was the Make-A-Wish thing. That
Mm,
was ridiculous.
mm,
So, I mean, my goodness, it was day one, and I'm gonna get like emotional talking about the Make-A-Wish kids were like run in like they were like part of a sports team. Like people were cheering for him and stuff like that. They had a private
awesome.
room out back where they got to chum it up with Brady for a while. They played catch with Brady back there. Brady talked to their dads. They brought him to the shop where they picked out whatever they wanted to have him sign. And it wasn't just Brady. They went to another conference room where Travis Scott was like signing shoes and taking pictures of people. That is amazing. Like that's
Yeah.
amazing. They should
Hmm.
do that every year.
Agreed.
Really, really awesome. Like I actually got
Mm,
emotional watching that. I'm still emotional watching that.
mm.
It was
Yeah, I
really,
can
really
tell.
good.
Yeah.
Good
Mm,
content.
hmm.
And it was great. So I'm glad, we've got there's like a 2 minute footage of it from Fanatics. That's on day one on our YouTube channel if you want to check it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else stood out to me? Um, it felt like, you know, there's a Bob Dylan concert and then there's a Gwar concert. Okay.
Guar.
I feel like
Yes.
I feel like the National is like the Bob Dylan concert.
Okay.
Newport Folk Festival, nothing but an acoustic guitar in his voice, and then there's
Hmm.
Guar. They've got the costumes and the pyrotechnics, or
Mm.
Rammstein or whatever, dude.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
felt like a Guar concert. Like
Hmm.
they went all out. They had the Ferrari chilling there or the Lambo, whatever the
Yeah.
prize
It was a
was.
Porsche. I
Porsche,
got
okay.
corrected. I thought it was a
Yeah.
Ferrari too. It was a
Whatever,
Porsche.
some high-end sports
It's just a
car.
gorgeous car. Yeah.
um
Mhm.
just these massive displays
Mm.
and expense, and it was quite a spectacle. It was really well done. So those
And
I mean those are the top things for me, really, and then the Brady stuff we'll talk about later.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Fanatics and Michael Rubin, obviously, they have a ton of connections, and I was a bit surprised in a good way that there were like so many companies and brands represented there as well. Like if you think of the national, you're gonna get like the hobby shops that are gonna have their brands and maybe you have some
Mm.
technology in the hobby that are gonna be there. But I mentioned like Nabisco had a had a booth and they had like an
I had no
experience
idea
for the
from afar.
kids.
Like I had no idea from afar
Yeah,
that
it
happened.
was just they
But why
had
not?
they had this whole entire like storefront where like you could like they had like a massive Nike booth where you could get like customized clothing there, and it was beautiful. There's jerseys everywhere. They had like a champion booth. They had it was just that was very interesting. One of the cool things too towards the front was I think it was like the United States Tennis Association had a big, huge booth with a small tennis court in the middle. And anybody who entered, especially kids, they were trying to promote like tennis for kids, you could go and sign up and they would give you two real tennis rackets and tennis balls.
Well, that's like $100,
Yeah.
like a
Yeah,
party favor.
they were just giving them away.
Yeah,
Like
man. Tennis
there was
rackets
a
are like good tennis. Yeah, $50 or whatever,
there was
right?
a
For
lot there was just a lot of that stuff. So again, you don't have to be a sports card enthusiast. You don't even have to be a sports enthusiast. There
you could be
was
a
really,
spectacle enthusiast.
yeah, spectacle, exactly. There was music, there was brands, there was athletes, there was memorabilia, which is very cool. I know that you were involved in helping build out the museum that they had there.
Yeah, it was
You
awesome.
helped Fanatics with that. That was insane. It was beautiful. It was really, really beautiful. They had that on the first floor. So I don't know how many people. I guess if there was one critique, I heard from everybody who went down to the museum loved it and they were like blown away by it.
Yeah.
I wish that they put the museum on the main floor with everything
Yeah, because you
else.
have to go out of the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if I think about it logistically, it probably had something to do with security.
Security and
Yeah,
insurance
it probably
and
did.
many
Yeah.
other factors.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
Transportation
Hmm.
and yeah, believe it or
Yeah,
not,
getting that stuff in and out.
it
Yep.
looks nice just standing there. People have no idea the logistics behind getting $200 million of cards safely in one place.
Mm.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's
yeah.
crazy. It does make you wonder if a standalone concept could ever work. You know, a museum like
Hmm.
that sitting in like New York City or sitting at Fenway Park or something like that.
Hmm.
It's a very interesting thought exercise.
Well, I mean, there are art museums, and they're very well attended. People go to them all the
Sure.
time, right? And this is another form of art.
It's
So,
also a tax. I mean, you know, if you're a whale and you just agree on a price of a
hmm
card, it could be more advantageous to simply donate the thing.
hmm
Depending on where the market's going and what interest rates are, donate it to the museum and then remove that from your income taxes. And then the
Yep.
museum's happy and you're happy
Yeah.
and everybody's happy, you know?
Yep. Yep.
So very interesting.
Um. All right. The other thing that I do want to point out around just Fanatics Fest in general, I mentioned that there were definitely tables. I wish I knew the number, but I want to say maybe there were 400 dealers throughout, car dealers,
That's
maybe
pretty good.
300, maybe 300. It did there was a big huge section, and then they were also like scattered around as well. Um, Cards HQ, owned by Jeff Wilson.
Hmm.
Um, he had a stat like right after the show that they made more money during this Fanatics Fest than they did last year during the National.
Or they sold, was it more money or more cards? I can't remember if it was revenue or cards. Either
No, it
way,
might have been. Yeah, I don't know.
either,
I
I mean, it's
forget.
still the
But
same conclusion,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But
Mm.
yeah, yeah. So first of all, we should pause here for a moment, just for some happy news, because it's summertime and everybody's happy, and we're coming up to the national. Jeff and I are back in touch, and we are talking again.
Yeah.
It's part of this new, I don't know, positive vibe I'm trying to have. But we actually,
Would you call it a rebranding, Nick?
I suppose I should be like Boston schizophrenic card hunter
Mm.
right now, but I'll have to, I don't know. Boston card hunter works, but
Yeah.
I kind of, you know, we sort of buried the hatchet over a few things,
Mm.
texted back and forth a little bit, and we're going to meet up at the National, which should be interesting. So anyway, before we get in,
Yeah.
me and
Yeah.
Jeff are cool now.
Oh, that's good.
So no more
All right.
making fun of Jeff
Actually,
at Cards
before
HQ.
we're gonna I want to touch on the national in a second, and we
Yeah,
can even touch on this stat that we just told you about Cards HQ.
right.
But let's go back to Fanatics Fest for a minute more and talk about the Fanatics games.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, this is cool. In case you're listening and probably many of you listen and just don't even tune in to YouTube or Instagram. And this is just like audio for you. So
Mm.
we'll tell you what happened. Fanatics thought it'd be cool to have like a fans versus athletes games. So it was 50 fans and
Hmm.
50 athletes. And it was everything from shooting a puck into a washer to a WWE runway competition to pitching to throwing to 3 point, like the gamut,
Basketball,
whatever. There's like 12,
throw the
12 things.
strongest punch. Yeah, it was a lot. Hmm.
So they tally up the scores, and spoiler alert: Tom Brady wins, of course, because he's Tom
Mike,
Brady. It's just what he does.
he's just such a maniac, this
Such a
guy,
punk.
man.
Yeah,
My God.
such a punk. But
Yeah, he
we
probably got
had
a heads up from Ruben of like all the events like a couple months before, and he just went at it and trained, I'm sure,
I'm sure you
knowing
just
him.
can't
Yeah.
lose.
Yeah.
So we actually me and you had like several friends in the
We did.
events. We had
Even friends of the show,
yeah.
too.
Yeah, Mark's card shop was in there. Both
Yeah.
Alex's, Alex
Yeah.
Tressler, Alex Jaimo. She's on the pod. He was on the pod.
Yep.
So the girl Laura, she follows us.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hmm.
she's into cards. She's coming to the party. I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, there was like a few more.
There
And
was. Yeah.
anyway, what was wild was a fan made the podium. A fan made the podium.
Yeah. A
Um,
fan. So again, these fans went up against 50 professional
Professional
athletes,
athletes.
and a fan finished in third
Third, yeah.
place.
He looked like he was in good shape. He was a teacher, and first prize $1 million. Second prize, five. I don't know the value of the car. Like,
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, the card. Yeah, the card was. I think
no, the
they
car. The
set.
card was two
Oh, the
fifty.
car was a half a million.
Okay, 500,000 Porsche, and
Yeah.
then the card was 250.
Yeah.
And Brady wins. People go up on the podium. And you were there for this, LZ. So tell
I
the audience what
was.
happened.
I was. So they're talking about the prizes, and they bring out the $1 million in a bag, and Kevin Hart drives the Porsche to the stage, which is pretty cool. He had like a band following him too, and then they had the card as well. So you had the fan in third place. I'm so sorry, I don't remember the guy's name, but a UFC fighter was in second place, and Brady was in first.
Yep.
So, they say, hey, you got this, you won this, you won this, you won this. And then Ruben said, hey, Tom, didn't you want to say something about like your winnings? And he he offered to buy the LeBron card off of the fan for $250,000. And then Kevin Hart got involved and he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
whoa,
yeah.
whoa, whoa, wait a minute. I want to help you negotiate to the fan. And he negotiated and he got like Brady to sign a jersey and a card. So the fan ended up signing it for 250,
Selling it. Yeah.
which
Okay.
selling it for 250. And then the other thing that Brady did
This is
was
crazy.
so all right, so he won $1 million. He just bought a card for 250, so now he has 750 left. He said, I'm going to give $5,000 to every single fan who has participated in these games. So 50
Times five.
people,
Yeah.
$5,000 each. So all the people we just talked about, both
Boom.
Alex
They all got 5 grand.
and Mark and yeah, they all got 5 grand, which was pretty cool. So that left Brady. What is that, math? You're much better at math. What does that leave Brady
250.
with?
Yeah. And then the
So he's got
card's
250
250.
left. So he's got 250 left. And then he said he was going to donate the other 250. So, it was a cool moment. It was a cool moment. What would you have done, Nick, if you were Brady and you won the $1 million?
I don't think
Would you have done the same?
I probably would have just donated the $1 million and kept it simple, but that's not
Okay.
fun.
Yeah.
So I guess he was more creative than me and
Yeah.
had a better moment than me. I think I
Mm.
don't that wouldn't have even occurred to me to like pay back the people that were competing against me.
Yeah.
But he's used to beating people a lot. So
Hmm.
maybe he thinks about that more.
Right.
And so he's ready for some sort of like he probably just knew he was going to win too. That's just how he is.
He definitely knew.
So
Yeah,
it's
he did.
funny. And
Yeah.
yeah, Eli Manning was trailing him for a while, but then he fell out. It was funny.
I thought that he was going to do a little bit of a different thing. And this is what I was telling myself, if I was Brady and I won. And I think it's great that he gave everybody 5 grand. But sorry, Alex and Mark, what I would have done is I would have given the $1 million to that fan. I would have bought that LeBron card off that
Oh,
fan for $1 million. is what I would have
Or you
done.
could have had one more games, right? It's like, all right, guys, every number goes in a hat,
Yeah.
and whoever I pull out gets half a mil,
There you go.
and then
Yeah.
the other half mil goes to charity.
Yeah.
That would have
Yeah.
been wild.
Mm.
Right? All right, quick, Michael Rubin, write down numbers 1 through 50. Be
And
pretty
whoever
rad.
gets it gets it.
Yeah.
But I do think it's really cool. Like it's really cool that all those people got 5 grand. I think that is really cool. The other thing, and I could have this wrong, but I think my memory is correct. Out of the top 10 uh people who placed, 6 of them were fans.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of this stuff was random, like the WWE entrance. Anybody can kind of do that,
Right.
Not
Yeah.
that came out wrong, but like you can pull that off. The hockey in the washer, if you practice a little bit, you
Mhm.
could pull that off. 3 point, forget it. I'd hit like one. And then golf. I mean, a lot of people are good at golf. I'm not good at golf,
Yeah.
but a lot of fans are good.
Yeah, they are. You're right. Yeah. There's a lot of
So,
weekend warriors that are good at
you're
good at
saying
that
there's a
stuff.
chance. We'll see next year. I don't know. Maybe I'll get in them next year. I don't actually. I don't want
Yeah.
that stress. I'm good.
You don't want the
I don't want
stress.
that stress. I don't want to be
Well,
embarrassed.
what if you get 5 grand from Tom Brady again? Because you know he's
It's
going to
5 grand
repeat.
worth having people just crap on my 3 point shooting. I don't know. Maybe.
Oh,
Maybe
come
it is.
on. Of course it is. It's fine. Tell them to
Yeah.
get up there and take some shots then.
Right.
So, all right, let's get to the national. And I just want this to be an open conversation. So,
Yeah.
we experienced Fanatics Fest. You saw it from afar. I think many of us saw it from afar. What do you think this is going to do to the national?
Well, hopefully it steps up their game. I think
Yeah,
of the National.
pushes them.
It's very
Mhm.
different. It's almost like a cooperative. Like Ocean Spray is owned by the cranberry growers. That's a
Mm.
cooperative. They're
Mm.
pretty rare in business. And I think the National is sort of like it's cooperatively owned. That's tough to pull off in a war with Michael Rubin and Fanatics on the other side. Um, Gosh, I wonder if the National just gets bought by Fanatics at some point. That's certainly another
Whoa.
path. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. That'd be
Yeah.
wild.
Mm.
But if they don't, I think they just have to step up their game and make it a spectacle. They got to lean on the whatnots of the world that are, raking in money, the PSAs of the world,
Yeah, the
and
big sponsors that they have.
big dogs, right? And they got a Golden and just the big dogs on our eBay.
Yeah. I
Uh,
think that's a really good point, Nick. Sorry to interrupt, but like I know we crap on Whatnot a lot, for different reasons, but the National should challenge Whatnot and be like,
yeah,
create an experience. We're going to give you an entire corner
yeah.
of our venue. Create this beautiful
Not
experience.
just a billboard with people breaking that you can't interact with.
Right.
Like at Fanatics Fest, you could interact with it.
Right.
So, yeah, it'll be important to make it interactive. It'll be important to get families there um, and make it a bit of a. I mean, Chicago gives them a shot, right? Because that's a pretty, solid metro area.
Sure.
Different than Cleveland.
Yep. And that's the next 3 years, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're gonna have to step it up because Fanatics is gonna step it up, and then once they get the regional stuff together on Fanatics, then it's gonna be even crazier. Like you'll have one in Florida and you'll have one in Cali,
Mhm.
and I mean it's a place for both. Like the National is, if I'm gonna go try to find two rare vintage '69 top signed cards, I'm not going to Fanatics Fest for that. Okay,
Sure.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
walk the entire national floor.
Not
And
today.
drive.
Not
Not-
today. You're not going
Not
to.
today, not today,
Right?
but
Mhm.
yeah. So, and I'm gonna walk the whole national floor and connect with
Yep.
everybody with vintage stuff and
Mhm.
pray I find something. So it's different right now, but
Mhm.
we'll see, man.
Yeah, I think it's hard, especially with the timing of Fanatics Fest being
Yeah.
in the summer as well. It's like people don't have unlimited funds, right? Like,
Or time, man, time.
yeah, you can't take 2 weeks. Like maybe you only get 1 week of vacation during the summer, or maybe only a couple days during the summer. Like if you got to pick one, which one are you going to
Yeah,
choose?
like me personally, I'm gone at the beach house most of the summer. I don't want to be keep coming back for two things.
Right.
I'm gonna probably pick one.
Yeah. I mean,
know?
you even think about, I was even thinking about just some of the content creators that we're friends with. Like we mentioned Alex Tressler and Alex Jaimo, like,
Yeah.
the two of them that we talk to a lot. Like there's costs involved for them
Oh,
with
yeah.
traveling to both of these shows. And they're
Hotel
they're the types of content creators that are at all of these shows. Eventually they're going to have to say like, I got to cut back on costs. Like I can't be going to
Yeah.
these, especially in a 1 month time frame. Like it's going to
Or the
impact a
national's
lot.
smart and they start paying the content I don't know. There's
Yeah.
different ways to do it.
Yeah. Well, I think they do. I think they do pay for some of the travel. So that's a
Yeah.
good point. I think they do pay for that. But
But you're
um
right. Yeah, you're right, man. You're totally right.
yeah, it's just going to
Um,
impact everything.
like I don't
So,
know. It'll be interesting. Like let's see how the national goes. I know we're
mm,
working with them as well, and we're going to
yeah.
have media passes. And we kind of we did coverage like every day last year. We don't know exactly what we're going to do yet,
Mm.
but we'll be at both this year, and then it's kind of like next year. What does that look like? Who
Hmm.
knows? We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. That is enough of Fanatics Fest and the National. Nick, let's get to the pop report.
The pop
All right.
report.
So, pop report is pop culture items that Nick has crossed me and Nick's socials, our news articles, whatever has caught our eye over the past week.
You going
You want,
first or me?
you want me to go first,
You
or
always
you
go
want?
first
All
because
right. You
you're
got it. You got it.
just
You
for the
got it.
audience. I've been ragging on LZ my entire life because I've known you. I don't know, 20 years now. I'd
Yeah.
say.
Probably. Yeah.
And I used to joke with you first couple of years I knew you. I said, you should have your own. This is before podcasts existed. Okay. I'd be like, you should have your own show with Larry. And that show is going to, cover all the pop culture stuff that, the world gets. And
Hmm.
you were always so good at it. So whatever, man, I'm going to take the helm on this one. I'm going to
All
go
right. You
first.
got it.
All
You
right.
got it. Let's hear what you got.
Number one, this is one of the most exciting television viewing things I've been excited about in a
Oh,
considerably long time.
okay.
Kudos to Stranger Things
Hmm.
for setting the tone. They got 3 episodes to wrap this thing out, and they're basically movies, okay? Episode 1 is the night before Thanksgiving. Episode 2 is Christmas
Ooh.
Day.
Ooh.
And episode 3, it's either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Boom.
Wait a minute. Shoot. I'm actually like really mad at myself because I'm usually up to snuff when it comes to Stranger Things. Usually I'm the one giving the updates on Stranger Things. So I missed this. So there's only going to be 3 shows. They're going to be long shows, but there's
Yeah.
only going to be
Basically,
3.
3 movies. Night before Thanksgiving,
I love that.
Christmas Day,
Yeah, that's
and it's
cool.
New Year's Eve, I think, at like 5 or something like that.
Wow.
Brilliant. Like, brilliant.
Yeah,
Can you
love
think
that.
of 3 more days in the year where people are more checked out?
Yeah.
You've baked your apple pies.
Yeah.
Like, you're done. And now you sit down
You're
and you watch it.
stuffed. You sit down.
And Christmas, there's always a gap.
Yep.
There's a gap between the morning and the afternoon or
Hmm.
whatever. And,
Yeah.
you're like, and then New Year's Eve, everybody's waiting for the ball. Well, let's kill some
Hey,
time.
let's spend 2 hours watching the finale of Stranger Things.
So
That's brilliant.
I'm really geeked for this, and I got something you didn't know about. So I'm just
Oh,
gonna
I'm
go
so pissed.
hang my head high
Oh,
today, man.
now I understand why you were like all bullish to go first. You kind of had a bit of pep in your step today, a little yeah, a little swag in you
I had
with
one
going
other one
first
that's
there.
really quick, just because we
Yeah.
talked about Karen
Well,
Reed.
no, let's go back and forth. Let's go
All
back
right,
and forth
all right, go
because
ahead.
I have another one too. Um, I actually find this to be a bit obnoxious, but I want to talk this through with you, Nick.
Obnoxious. Okay.
Apple is coming out with a new version of AirPods, so the headphones, the AirPods, that have cameras in them, Nick.
How's that
What
gonna
are we
work?
doing?
Here's my AirPods. All right.
What are we doing with cameras on the sides?
I don't get that. I mean,
So
it will record a bicycle accident.
apparently they're going to use it for like the spatial audio that they have. You know,
Oh,
like
maybe
you can
there's some
turn on
clever
that spatial
engineering
audio.
feat they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah,
Wait, are
I'm
they
trying to.
using the camera for audio purposes or something weird like that?
I don't know, man.
That would
I
be
just,
okay.
like,
That would
just
be okay.
feels like really over-engineered. These things are probably going to be like $1,500. Like, I'm not gonna
Although,
I'm not gonna cock my head to the left and take a picture.
hold on one sec. Devil's advocate.
All right, what do we got?
There's a certain rate of crime in the world.
Mm-hmm.
How much crime has happened to somebody with AirPods on that hasn't been caught? Maybe.
Okay.
How many?
All right.
20 a year, 100 a year, 200 a year, 1,000 a year?
Yeah,
I have
no,
no idea.
actually, yeah, when
No
I
idea.
walk through big cities, especially like New York, like and I have my headphones on, my head is on a swivel when I have headphones on because
Or what about, like you're riding a bike or something in New York and an accident
and
happens?
someone hits you.
It makes me think of Batman, my favorite Batman, the one with Heath Ledger, where they have the God device. It's like,
Yeah,
is Apple making a God device? Is that where they're really trying to do here? Put
I
cameras on
don't
it.
know.
But
I,
it could stop crime, maybe. Maybe. You
maybe
click
it.
that, you click it, and you got a camera of the perpetrator. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I guess I'll think about it from like the Tesla angle, right? With all the cameras that Teslas have, and when
That's
something
awesome. You just honk
happens,
the
like
horn and you record what happened. It's
yeah,
great, dude. I
yeah.
really, really like it.
Hmm.
Somebody keys your car, you got a nice video to send to
But
the
like
police.
what? But Nick, like really, you're gonna have these two like cameras on the side of your ears? Like what are we doing? I would say to Apple, which I love. I have shoot, I probably have like 15 Apple products, and you do as well, right?
Yeah.
Let's really innovate, Apple. Like let's really come out with the new product. We haven't seen a blow you away product, I think, since the iPad.
They
Like the
can't,
Apple
they're
Watch
not
is
capable of
like,
doing it. You need somebody who could bend reality.
oh,
And there are one of those every 20 years. We've got Steve Jobs, we've got Elon Musk. There'll be another one in like 10 years that will come by, but they bend reality. They give you something you don't even think you want.
right. That's
And
what I
it's
want.
because they have taken LSD, they have
Mm.
experimented, they have seen the other side, or Elon is just like he's admitted he's on the autism spectrum and he's different. He thinks differently. Like you have to have a weird mutant human, and they don't have it, man. So Steve Cook, he's an
Tim
operator.
Cook. Tim
Tim
Cook
Cook,
is an
sorry,
operator.
yeah, Steve
Yeah, I
Cook.
mean they're making money hand over fist. I thought I saw that the revenues for just the AirPods is 3x what OpenAI is, which is ChatGPT. So
Why even
just their
innovate?
AirPods are revenues of 3x.
If Steve
So
Jobs was still there, we'd have something. All of us, like
yeah.
80% of America, would have
Mhm.
something that we don't even know we want.
I mean, there was rumors of a TV in the home, which could
Yeah,
have
a
been interesting. There were
car,
rumors of a
like
car. Like I hope and I pray
an Apple guitar. I don't know, man.
that they
Something.
are. Why aren't they? They need to be working on that humanoid robot like Tesla is. That is what Apple should be doing.
What about an Apple electric guitar where there's no strings? I don't know, man. Just like come up with something good, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on.
I know. All
This is
right,
turning
so
into a
let's get
tech
to the
show.
next one. I know. Next one. So you had a Karen Reed
Oh,
topic.
only because we brought it up 2 weeks ago and your
Yeah.
mom updated me. There was a verdict. She got
Wait a minute.
off.
My mom updated you
Remember,
recently.
we were at a family party.
Oh,
No,
okay.
your
Yeah,
mom
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
update
Oh,
me
I
on it.
thought you meant recently, like she
No,
called you or
my
something.
wife's all over that.
Okay.
Although I would very much welcome a call from Teresa. That'd be
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
So yeah, she got off and I mean, got some like civil stuff down the road potentially, but criminally after this trial, she's free. So
She's
thank you.
free. So just wait for the movie. Wait for the miniseries. Wait
Mhm.
for that's coming. There's gonna be books. There's gonna be everything. So
Yeah.
very interesting. All right, the last one I have, and it's very quick. Nick brought up Stranger Things, which is an awesome show. The Bear is back.
Oh, just
The
saw that
Bear
last
is
night, bro.
back. Oh, was it good? I didn't watch it
No,
yet.
I didn't see it. I saw that
Oh,
it was back last night. And I'm
yeah.
like, I didn't think it
So
was real because
so I was purposely waiting for the weekend to watch the first episode. So for anybody who doesn't watch The Bear, please go and watch it. It's about a restaurant, it's about a chef. It's like that's a terrible explanation, right? But it's like all the hell that a chef goes through and cooks go through and building a restaurant, especially a Michelin star restaurant, and
right.
just the seriousness behind it. And it's very, very intense. Very intense show.
It's
It is
great.
definitely not a comedy, everybody. So tune in and watch that.
You'll laugh though. You'll laugh a little bit
Yeah,
here and there.
there's a couple there. All right, let's move on. Let's get back to cards. And Nick, I teased it at the beginning, but there was a very, very big Michael Jordan sale recently.
Yeah, so we had a 910 for the audience that doesn't know. That's a dual graded card. So I don't remember. I'm pretty sure the card was a 10 and the autograph was a 9.
No,
Um,
vice versa.
okay,
Vice versa. The
card was
card
a
was a
9,
nine.
autograph was a 10.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Sold for $2.5 million. The latest comp was an 8.9 in 2024 that sold for 205,000. These cards are weird. PSA did a magazine article about this guy. I know who it is, but I won't out him or anything. He talked about being such a fan. MJ's like he's so inspired by MJ. He's such a great MJ collector, and then all these cards are just getting sold. It's like,
Mm,
give me a break. So,
mm.
yeah, I won't even go deeper into that, but I know a lot more. That's for like another pod.
So in 1 year, well, I know it's a better card, but in one
Yeah,
year at 10x,
10x. Yeah,
10x
exactly.
this value.
Jordan stuff's hot right now. His autos are hot right now, but I just caution everybody, man. He's warming up to society. He's gonna
He
be
is.
on TV,
NBC
and like he signed something for one of our good friends, um, you know,
at a
at the Hall of
basketball Hall of
Fame.
Fame
Yeah,
ceremony.
and
Yeah.
he's a
Hmm.
great guy too. It's a great cause. He's you know, I just
I
hope he
think
signs like
so.
crazy. We'll
My
see.
theory is so Charles Barkley is a really tough guy to get to sign autographs, but people are able to do it.
Yeah.
And Barkley does that the TNT show with Shaq and Kenny and
Yep.
that whole thing. I do wonder if Michael Jordan's going to warm up sort of like Barkley, where he's not going to do signings,
Yeah.
but he is going to be traveling the United States, going to these different games. And if you catch him outside of a bar or outside of a steakhouse on a random Thursday night before a Golden State game, maybe you get lucky,
He
everybody.
probably signs like 5 cards a year right now. He's probably
Mm,
going to sign 50 next
yeah.
year. Is
Yep.
my guess.
Hmm.
So
So Nick,
there's a
what?
chance.
So if this thing went for 2.5, because we know that guy that you mentioned has, I think, three 10-10s, or is it six 10-10s, or
Yeah.
three? I think it's three. I
It's like
think it's three.
5 or 3. I don't remember.
Whatever it is, what you know he's going to sell one of those. What is that thing going to go for if this thing went for
Oh,
2.5?
I'm pretty sure this is one of those he got signed in that signing.
No, it is.
Yeah.
It
So,
is.
oh, what do you think those will
But
go
no, the
for?
10-10, Nick.
I know they're so controversial. That is what Marshall Fogel would say. I have money. I want you to know I have money. I want that. That's mine, 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 and I'm going to prove it.
Hmm.
Sky's the limit, man. I actually can't call it.
Do you think it's like Mickey Mantle $40 million card?
No, hell no, dude. I
All
think
right,
it's like maybe. God, I can't believe I'm saying this. 3 or 4
10 mil,
million.
24, 23
Three
million.
or
Michael
four,
Jordan's
three or
number.
4 million.
Oh, 3 or 4? No, why would it be 3 or 4? This thing went for 2.5, Nick.
Because he could just sign more.
No,
Mickey
it's gonna
Mantle
go.
can't. Mickey Mantle can't sign. Like,
Well,
I,
that's not a signed
I
one. That's
know.
just
I
a
don't.
10.
I think it's nuts. I think it's nuts, man.
I think it goes for well over 3 million. If this thing went for 2.5, I think it's
Yeah,
probably 5 million. I think it's a $5 million
I'm with you.
card.
5 would be a good over under, actually.
Yeah, yeah, I think that is. That would be a good over under. Let's
I would
set it
take the
right now.
under. I would
Let's
take
set
the
it right
under.
now. So you're gonna take the under.
I am.
All right. So we're officially documenting the right now. The over under is 5 million.
I
Nick is
am.
taking the under. I'm taking the over.
All right. Let's see how it goes.
All right. All right, everybody. So stay tuned because you know that card's coming. I would say within shoot. I would say within
Maybe at the National.
8 months.
Ken Golden will have the white gloves
Tops.
out, and who knows, man? You never
Yeah.
know. Things
Yep.
get crazy, and
Uh-huh.
that's the time to sell something big right around the National.
For sure, for sure. All right, staying on the basketball scene. So we had Gary V on a couple weeks ago talking about his latest launch of V Friends,
Hmm.
and there's a new V Friends that's coming out that is like basketball themed, which I thought was pretty cool. And they're doing, they're kind of teaming up with Steph Curry. So you have these same V Friends characters in different basketball poses, and then there are also cards that have Steph Curry on them playing these different characters. So that is
I got it.
interesting, Nick.
I have to commend Gary V. So he was on the show. We talked about
Mm.
this. I don't. It's really hard to pull off IP nowadays. I feel like most successful IP, it's already existed. It's
Mm.
like the Smashing Pumpkins. Billy Corgan's probably worth. Everybody's worth like $100 million because of the IP they already created, right? And you've already got Pokemon, and you've already got Yu-Gi-Oh, and you've got Disney Lorcana, but that's just IP that's just been here. Gary is really trying. He has quite an audience. He's really trying to build something positive from scratch. Whether you hate it or you think it's stupid, you have to
Mhm.
commend the effort. And so
Mhm.
he's not just kind of going on his name, he's being smart about it. He says, let me partner with Tops and make this legitimate and create a business relationship there. Let
Yep.
me partner with a very good basketball player
Steph Curry.
and do
Yeah.
business with Steph Curry. And
Hmm.
kudos to Gary. He has enough reach and gravitas to do that. He could probably even do a deal with LeBron, potentially.
Yeah.
Maybe even MJ. And Gary, he's going to swing for the fences. So, whether I will say, my 10-year-old son loved them. That was the
Hmm.
most fun he's had opening anything in a long time. Whether
Really?
the cost was
Cool.
crazy or whatever
Yeah.
you think of it, Um, you know, he may fail. This may not work out. This may all turn to $1 cards. But I mean, what the hell? Kudos for him for trying, you know.
Hmm. Yep. Yep.
That's my take on it.
Hmm. He had a big presence at Fanatics Fest.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
obviously
he'll have a
he's
big
got
one
a
at the National
partnership with
too.
Fanatics.
Yeah.
It was so if I compare his booth at the National last year to Fanatics Fest, it must have been probably, oh shoot, probably 10 times as big because it was like a two-floor booth. It was one of those ones that has
Well,
like an
now he's not just
upstairs.
like glad handing people. He has an agenda,
Yep.
like
Hmm.
we have tops cards. Let's sell some. Let's get some interest out there for secondary. I bet you his booth is even bigger at the National this year.
Yeah. Yeah. All
Good
right.
dude. I know not everybody loves Gary, but he's a good dude. Trust me. We talked to him for a while.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Yeah, it's well, I think people get annoyed with positivity, right? Because people who aren't positive, they get annoyed when
Well,
they
he's
see
also
people who
he's
are happy
conflicting,
and
right? Like he swears like a pirate,
yeah.
and he's also positive. He's just an interesting guy,
Yeah.
and not
Hmm.
everybody likes
Yep.
some of it.
Yep. Yep. All right. We have a Pokemon topic.
Okay.
This was on everybody's socials, so these are probably for people who aren't on socials. Uh, there was a guy who showed up to a card show and attempted to steal some Pokemon cards, and thankfully, the authorities were there, actually in like full force. I was shocked by how many police officers were there, and they got involved, thankfully, and they tried escorting the gentleman out of the card show, and eventually it got to a case where they flat out arrested him
Yeah.
in this card show. And Nick, the thing that just was crazy is the guy resisted arrest. He was like a bigger guy too. So like, he was putting his force and his muscle into resisting and it took two this is crazy. It took two cops. They had to actually like physically take him to the ground and handcuff him with two sets of handcuffs because like the guy like wasn't putting it, he would not allow his hands to get close enough together
It's gonna
to
start
be
to hurt.
handcuffed. So they put two handcuffs on and they dragged him out almost hogtied. Two of the cops like grabbed his shoulders and another police officer grabbed his feet. And Nick,
Wow, shit
I
got
was
real.
the whole time I was thinking this. I'm like, this is the hill that you're gonna die on, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Like this is it.
Come on.
Like you tried stealing, even if it was like 5 grand in Pokemon cards, and you're gonna resist arrest. Like what are you
All right.
doing?
I just want to lay it out for all the future criminals out there and potential future criminals, whether you're a kid or an adult listening to this. Resisting arrest has worked out exactly like one time in history. You know what that one time is, Larry?
Oh, what was the one time? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, what was
It
it?
was a
What?
white Ford Bronco, and it wasn't really resisting
Oh,
arrest, right? It was kind of like,
yeah.
I'm gonna go for a stroll and think about my life for a while,
Mm,
and then I'll let myself get arrested. That's the only time I could think of where it actually worked out. It didn't end in an embarrassing way, and he was not found not guilty. So technically, that's the only time.
technically. Okay.
Other than that, you're not outrunning them. Most likely, the police force is bigger than you. The U.S. Army is bigger than you. You're never going to resist arrest. So
No.
don't. If you're caught,
No.
you're caught. Unless you're OJ in a white Ford Bronco.
Oh, I love that. That was great. That was great. Oh, yeah. So come on, man. Just smarten up, everybody. Smarten up.
And don't
All right.
steal shit at card shows. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, give me
Yeah.
a break.
All right. Speaking of smartening up, Nick, let's get to Bonehead Breakers of the Week.
All
What do we
right.
have this
This
week?
is tough because I'm not on IG that much, but I did. It was like one more drink. I had
Yeah.
to post
Yeah,
one
you
more.
had. Yeah.
I pull this guy's got like a kimono robe wide open, so he's buck naked, but the item is hiding it, kind of like everything.
Okay.
And I don't know if he's on drugs or not, but he's very sleepy and out of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. He
And
was kind of out of it.
he's just really talking nonsense about baseball cards and all of that. And then he does a pivot. He pivots, pulls out his phone. He's like, "Yo, you can find me on TikTok. 5-star reviews. All you gotta look up is I forget the
Something to
guy's
do
name.
with hot sauce,
I
right?
really
Or
want to
something?
shout him out too, but I forgot the hot
Yeah.
sauce name.
Yeah.
And it's like pineapple juice and orange juice and garlic and whatever. And look, comes right up on the search, whatever, and people were
What
dying.
was
Yeah,
he selling, Nick?
he was
Was he
selling
selling like
barbecue
juices?
sauce.
Barbecue
Barbecue
sauce.
sauce. You want to take a stab at how many people were in the room?
How many?
300.
What?
That's
This
like
guy,
that's
this
like a
guy had 300
that's
people?
like half of backyard breaks because it started to go viral, right? Everybody's sharing it,
Like,
going
yeah,
like,
sharing it.
"What is going on?" So the dude was like
300
a
people.
mini Joe Hollywood for like an hour, selling
Whoa.
barbecue sauce.
So his barbecue sauce is going to be the next Sweet Baby Ray's. Is that what you're telling me? It's going to go
Maybe,
viral.
maybe it
Yeah,
is.
maybe
Maybe
it
it
is.
is. So,
Wow.
yeah, that's our Bonehead Breaker.
Okay. That's
Good
great.
stuff.
That's great. All right, let's get to question of the day, Nick. I
Okay.
have the question for you today. All right, we were talking about TV shows and movies a little bit and all that. So, who is your favorite action action film, action movie character of all time?
Okay. So
Not superhero, like an action movie.
now, do you need me to pick the specific movie, like the character? Like, like if it was Sylvester Stallone, I have to pick Rambo. I can't pick Sylvester Stallone because he's Rocky and
No,
Rambo.
I know. I think you could be a bit more generic. You can go with
Okay.
the actor, like whoever represents the best action heroes
All
in a
right.
movie
Yeah,
for
man.
you.
I grew up with Arnold, dude. And my favorite by him was Predator because,
Okay.
he just like, it's just so perfect with the mud.
Oh
He's like
yeah, coming
hiding
out of
from
the
that.
mud.
And he's
Yeah.
like, you're one
Mhm.
ugly mother bleeper. And like,
Uh-huh.
it was great. Actually, one quick shout out. There is a sick Predator thing on Hulu right now. The Spider-Man movies that were like animated and all of
Yeah.
that. They did an animated 90-minute Predator movie. It is unbelievable on Hulu.
Really?
So go check
Is it
that
like
out.
the same creators of that Spider-Man
I
one?
don't know, but it's
Kind of
it's
looks the
kind of
same.
like it's like a mini show within it.
Okay.
There's like four separate shows. It's like stunning. But
Wow.
anyway, Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Obviously, he did a ton of other stuff, but that's my favorite.
Arnold's Arnold, that
Arnold.
he might be the goat.
He's probably the
He
goat.
might be. Get in the chopper.
Get in the chopper. I mean, Last Action Hero. That was a
Oh,
flop.
what did he say in Kindergarten Cop? It's not a tumor.
It's
It's
not a
not a
tumor.
tumor. Um, yeah, no, he's probably the goat. But for me, mine is actually Bruce Willis. I think he was so well casted in all of those Die Hard movies. Bruce
Yeah.
Willis, like, he's just a guy that you want to grab a beer with. He was witty, he was funny. He swore like just the right amount. Um, he wasn't like this huge jacked guy like Arnold or Ram or
He's
Sylvester
bald.
Stallone.
You got
He
hope
was
for bald
bald,
people.
so it was kind of like you could relate
You can
to
relate
him.
to him.
You could relate to him. And I just thought he was great. I mean, he was in a ton of other movies too, but
He was good
all
in
the
Pulp
diehards.
Fiction. Underrated role in
Oh,
that.
Pulp Fiction. He was in Armageddon.
Yeah.
He was in a lot, man. He was just very, very cool dude. And I think we hit the nail on the head towards the end there. I think he was just relatable. He was like an everyman's man.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
Bruce
You could like
Willis.
see him at Home Depot throwing some 2x4s
Yeah.
in the cart and like going out to his truck.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
know?
All
God
right.
bless him.
Well, we want to hear what everyone else thinks. Who is your favorite action hero movie star? All right.
Thanks. All right.
All right, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.